Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us here at Wee Clan Torrance. We are on day 200 of Dance 365, and we are day 19 of our Totally RAWsome vlog, where we are eating raw all July 2015. Now, this is not our usual diet. There's 3 of us who are eating totally raw in this household this month. And we come from, good morning, Gemma, and we come from all different backgrounds of states of health, perhaps. All of us are in good health. None of us are on medications or seeing doctors for anything in particular. But there's different levels of general health and junk food consumption, let's say. So I don't feel like I'm giving up too much for this month. I'm giving up bread. I'm giving up dairy.
Why?
No, this month it's part of the detox. So what else? I guess that's really it. So bread, milk, and cheese,
Is that all you wanted to say?
and crisps. Gemma. So, yes, that's not that much really. Like, I ate other things, obviously, but obviously I didn't hold on to it too much. I'm not thinking about it. I'm not going, yeah, I can't wait to eat some cooked food. Bruce made a big salad yesterday, and he put things like chilies in it and pepper in it and lots of things in it that I don't usually like. And I think it's one of the best salads I've ever had. He also made a beautiful cabbage and apple and walnut and raisin kind of coleslaw. This is not what I would usually eat it, but I am loving it. So I'm very happy. I spent most of yesterday in the kitchen juicing. So we have a fridge full of juice to take us into tomorrow and today, and that's wonderful. Yeah, it's all very exciting. We're ploughing on towards the last 2 weeks of this month. We're up every morning. I have 6 apart from Sundays. We've got a line this morning till 7. But we're up every morning to do our stretches and to do our meditation. Now, again, this is not a daily practice. I stretch maybe once, twice a week. I do wee things, but not a discipline like 7 days a week. So for what were your day 19 of stretching every day, it's amazing. My body's coming back to me. I can feel my stretch. It's just amazing. So the discipline of doing things for 1 month, and I'm so pleased we've taken 1 month out to do all these things, at the same time. Bruce is running around just now trying to get the children sorted for breakfast. He is wonderful. He's making them pancakes and stuff. So they're not all raw. They're still getting treated to different cooked foods, although I don't know if it's a treat. But as long as we're not overloaded. Gemma, for example, yesterday I was so proud of her because we're not making them go raw. We're encouraging them to eat raw as much as we can. And without saying anything yesterday, Gemma said, can I have an all-raw lunch? In fact, she'd just come back from the market with JD, Bruce and Bodhi, and they'd come back bringing all the produce back, and it was all over the kitchen table, and it looks lovely. Said, can I have an all-raw lunch? That was fine. It took me a long time to carb count because Gemma was diagnosed as type 1 diabetes at the beginning of May, out of the blue. So we suddenly have to learn about how to carb everything, and she gets insulin-based shots on what she's having. So things like cooking breakfast becomes a lot more complicated, and encouraging raw is wonderful, but when you have to carb count all the different fruits that she's eating, it was quite difficult. And then the apple was too hard for her, so we had to swap that for something else. So it becomes a bit of a game, but we're doing that, and I was just so pleased that when Gemma eats so much salad anyway, and mainly it's fruit that's been suffering from the diabetes because she has to choose between chocolate and unhealthy food. And whereas previously she didn't have unhealthy food, she just ate as much fruit as she wanted. Now she can often opt for something else, but she's swinging back this month, and this month we're getting a lot more fruit back in, and I'm really happy about that because obviously the fruit's better for her than anything else. So what else is going on? I can't think. Everything's very exciting here. It's day 200. The kids are off swimming today with Bruce and JD. That's the plan. They were going to go yesterday, but Bodhi ended up getting overtired and needing a nap right in the middle of the day. So they're off out this morning, hopefully to have some fun. We've got a good week coming up. This will be the first week that Bruce and I have got engagements out. We will be meeting up with the facilitators of the ISTA facilitators in Edinburgh and Glasgow this week. We'll talk probably more about that, maybe put another video out about what we're doing under a different, not part of this project, but I'm so excited about this week. That's moving forward. We're raising the energy in so many different ways, through dancing, through our eating, through our meditating, through our practices and commitment. I was kind of holding space so Bruce could arrive and talk, but he's not arriving. I don't know how I'm feeling. We're going to go into a 3-day juice fast tomorrow. Last time I went, we're doing a 3-day juice fast every week. That was the plan. There's 5 weeks in this month, but for the first 8 days for me and first 11 days for Bruce, we went onto juice cleanse, and that was amazing. And the first 3 days back to juicing after a few days of food was hard, both weeks. So this will be my 3rd time of coming off a juice cleanse into food, and I've missed food every time. So we'll see, because we keep eating really nice raw food. Hello, Bruce. Wow. I've been holding space, yeah. Just about. So I was going, oh, there we go. So wondering how we're all doing. I was just saying, we're about to go back on to 3 days of juice again, and I've missed food every single time, and the food just keeps getting better every time we come off the juice. And I love the salad you made yesterday. That was immense. Yeah. I had a really sore tummy last night. Yeah. That lasted a while. But Bruce put some peppermint and something else on a tissue. I was smelling that, my stomach got better. Simple things.
Works.
So, how are you this morning?
Yeah, good. Yeah, mixed emotions about eating today, because I'm aware that the juice is coming back in again tomorrow. Probably looking less forward to that than I have been about juicing. So, kind of 3 days of Thursday, Friday, Saturday being able to eat, kind of get used to it really quickly. It's amazing how quickly your entire mind hadn't clocked that until just now, really. But it's amazing how your mind, everything just goes to food. I eat food now. I eat food. It's all I do is eat food. I process and food, basically. So, yes, looking forward to going back onto the juice for a few days though. If it's getting harder and harder, and that's good, because it's a different challenge each time. Yeah, wanted to try and make a raw dessert today, so I think we're going to go for a cheesecake. So we need to get in some walnuts and dates and avocado to get that all done, and some sort of toppings as well, so it'll be good. Probably going to keep it light today though, I think. Just generally kind of eating. Might make another big salad, because that was a good salad. Kind of kept me going for it.
Yeah, I think we might be doing that today.
Yeah. Some more chilies in it as well, from what I gathered from yesterday's one. So yeah, doing really well. Yesterday was a good day, and kind of spent those different little points of kind of what felt like revelation or clarity that came up yesterday. And right now I can't remember what they were for the life of me. Such is the nature of mine. So I don't tend to worry about it so much. If something important comes up and then I can't remember what it was that came up, I completely trust that my mind and my brain have the relationship to be able to hold on to them, and I'll recall those when they're of significance. But it has been, yeah, just a day of increasing sort of clarity, and I think I'm just delving more into sort of paradigm shift type of material. So, and it is that real kind of, you know, this is a kind of a crossroads point for me, not just sort of this weekend or such, but this month, about my relationship with me, and that includes the sort of the deeper relationship that goes on under the surface and inside the brain, and kind of, yeah, looking to reprogram that.
What are you going to do with your life?
What's
your
it?
Whole life, and we unconsciously move.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, really just kind of experiencing that at the moment, and feeling really drawn to kind of working with people, for people, and yeah, that's kind of coming through quite strongly, which is an old, well, it's not old, but I kind of let go of being in that type of a world of working with people, helping people to help themselves, helping people to change themselves because they keep looking outside for somebody else to change them, and they're not getting the fact that ain't gonna happen. There's nobody in the world that can change them except for them. And they can pay all the money they want for all the courses and workshops and seminars and retreats and shrinks and whatever else, therapies that they like. But until there's this willingness in themselves to actually commit to change, then they're just throwing money away, basically.
Yeah, it's all stages. You have to.
It is all stages, but the core part of it, doesn't matter what other stages are. If you ain't committed to it, you ain't doing it. It's as simple as that. You're kind of not.
You have to match your intent with what you're doing.
Yeah, and I think that was the big word that was coming up yesterday, was integrity. And through the night, the integrity of what I'm doing, and just how being more disciplined in how I'm eating and how I'm thinking and how I'm acting is starting to actually kind of bring my integrity into line, where I've always felt that I lacked integrity, yet been told that I have integrity in abundance. I'm beginning to actually see that reflection now, really kind of in me. And again, this is very recent. It's not sort of been over months and months. It's been over days and days. That it's the understanding of what it is that I've been seeing from other people's reflections of me is beginning to make sense. Is beginning to really come in.
You can see some positive reflections. I think a lot of people don't like seeing positive reflections. They're happy to see the negative. You get both camps, but there's a lot of people that they don't like seeing the positives.
See how uncomfortable somebody is when you go up to them and genuinely say, "You are awesome," and they'll kind of go away from you. It's like, wow, and that's our kind of tendencies per se, across the board.
But I have this problem and this problem.
You're awesome. Yes, I am. But well, I know I could be. But and it's excuse out of it, and and then we allow them to create that space for themselves to live in that excuse a little bit longer instead of going, no, seriously, you are awesome.
So I was saying I was getting excited this week about the talks we're going to attend this week for this detox.
Yeah.
So because we're expanding what we're doing, we're expanding the space we're holding, we're expanding the world we're living in, and we're expanding everything about our energies at the moment.
I'm enjoying this month because it's teaching me to hold space in a physical sense, in a nutritional sense as well. I do want to kind of host and facilitate retreats for people to be able to go into some deep learning, whether it is, even if it's in delving into a yoga practice for a week or 2 weeks or something, but to be able to then coordinate that space and put it all together and bring in the diet plans, and whether it's going to be vegan, raw vegan, juice, whether it's going to be a combination of all three, or maybe you delve into a bit of vegetarian so it lightens up, or dairy, whatever. But just learning how to kind of bring it all together so that people, because we're trying to do a retreat space in life, in what we're doing in our day-to-day. So our home, our
well, this is the summer holidays and you're working every single day.
Well, yes, but that's what people that aren't teachers do. So,
well, you have your own business.
Yeah,
so
and it operates 52 weeks of the year. But no, but that's entirely up to me to take that time out. For example, I've just blocked off my diary for next week outside of any appointments that aren't already in place, and I'll probably do the same thing the following week as well, just to really kind of minimize my need to be out and to be able to kind of spend more time in this space. But then I need to make this space kind of functional. There's no point in being around and kind of being a passenger within that as well. So yeah, I really want to kind of take what I'm learning this month, both about me and how the food relationship, this kind of juicing raw cycle affects things, to be able to then translate that into a held space for people who want to kind of come into an environment for, as I say, generally it's retreat, so it's, you know, getting away from this sort of thrust of life, and being able to just kind of come into a space that's held for them. And yes,
it's a vast paradigm from where we were.
Yeah, absolutely, and creating an exchange within that. So that's kind of the whole kind of thing that I'm seeing over the course of this month, and I'm quite, now that I'm doing it, it makes it more tangible. So it gives that, you know, before it's I want to do this, and now I'm beginning to see the bits that are coming together to actually make that happen. Because I wasn't going to be holding a healthy retreat space on the kind of diet I was on. And I need to understand how to keep my kind of energy levels at peak whilst holding a space for that length of time as well. And it takes more than if you're the recipient. You know, if you're actually attending a retreat or something like that, you don't, unless it's a particular activity, you don't need that kind of level of energy. I think that, you know, people holding the space do. So it's understanding how this all works in balance with me. Carol's doing the same for herself as well. And it's, you know, we want to take that then forward into, you know, bringing people who need to have that space, who need to be able to get away, but also want the deeper learning within themselves, for themselves, so that they can then bring that back out in their expression to their partners, families, friends, workplace, whatever it happens to be. So yeah, 20 days in? No, 19 days we're on at the moment. And yeah, it is positive. It's fantastically positive. But it also really highlights, you know, where all the jarring points are as well. So you tend to see where the broken glass is lying a lot more clearly.
There's a lot less tolerance, yes, for things that are outside your harmony zone.
Yeah.
If something comes in there, yes, with any ill intent or anything that's going to do you harm, you're really aware of it fast.
Mm-hmm.
And you really want to usher it back out a lot more firmly than you might have done before.
Yep.
You become very aware of your own energy, very aware of what's good for it and what's bad for it and what's good for you. So yeah, it's been a fascinating month. I look forward to, I think it might take a while for the wisdom of this month to sink in. It's just
for sure.
It's just all happening just now.
Yeah, the processing is going to go beyond this, and is being able to hold space for that in August, insofar as not just jumping straight back into pizzas, crisp chocolate, you know, all the coffee and all that kind of stuff, because that's just going to clag everything back up, and you'll end up with a foggy head and back into a dismal view. So yes, I'm looking forward to the dynamic of diet changing, but also evolving as well, and that's kind of what it feels like it's doing. You know, we're taking a real kind of time out from how we were eating before. And
it's not just eating, but it's living, getting up first thing in the morning. I'm saying how wonderful I'm feeling to stretch every day.
Yes.
How better my body's feeling for that practice, how better my body's feeling for daily meditation.
Today was probably one of my hardest days for stretching. I was kind of feeling it was pretty, it was a tough morning. But again, I also feel like we're kind of at a turning point in this month as well.
We start a brand new week again tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I said we've got 2 weeks left, 10 days after tomorrow, and I'm really just looking to kind of bring it all in. And as for, you know, with adults in the space, it's making sure that by the time we come out of this, there's 3 adults moving forward in the space, or any number of adults moving forward in the space, and it's really, you know, we've had 2 weeks of introduction, we've had 2 weeks of getting used to.
Well, it's 3 different weeks. It's been 3 different Mondays. We've gone through Monday to Friday 3 times. We're going to go Monday to Friday 2 more times this month. 5 weeks. JD was like, "There's 5 weeks in this month." Yes, there are. It's great.
We've done Monday to Friday twice. We have a week beforehand, but yes. But yes, we've got now 2 full weeks to go, and then August the 1st and 2nd is the Saturday, Sunday. So that's kind of interesting. I think JD and I are already talking about hitting the local curry house, but we'll see how that goes in 15 days or 14 days, because I think I might be taking a little bit more. I think I might be taking a little bit more easy than that. But no, looking forward to. I must admit, hot food. It's, you know, it's nice. It's certainly has its appeal, but definitely looking to keep it. It's almost like just taking raw ingredients and, you know, putting them together in a cooked form instead. So most of the things that we're looking at doing raw, we can do cooked anyway. But no, looking forward to being able to vary out between hot, cold, raw, not entirely raw, you know, these types of things. So, yeah. Discovering what my body thinks of food that we buy from the supermarket. I believe it's not going to be particularly impressed.
Well, mine wasn't for a long time. I think this is why I'm so happy to be where I am.
Yeah.
That's like, you know, I don't actually have to pretend. It's like trying to give Bodhi food, and Bodhi rejects most food unless it's fruit.
Yes.
Or potato
pancakes
waffles.
with Nutella.
And Nutella and chocolate.
And Weetabix with banana. Yeah, no, she is actually quite good, but fruits are a big thing, that's for sure. She's a big fruitarian. And Gemma's more the vegetarian with a little bit of ham.
All right, wonderful. So we begin again tomorrow for what round? It's round 3 for us. Round four for us, because we really did kind of start the week before.
It was the Tuesday, really, the Tuesday evening the week before.
We
on the
started.
30th of June,
We were winding
so, yeah.
into it that week. So yeah, this is the 4th week, the 4th beginning of something new this month. It's crazy.
Yep.
What we did. Blue moon at the end of this month. Had a new moon. We've had a blue. We've had a full moon, a new moon, another full moon at the end of this month. 3 moons. Awesome month to do this. We will see you all again tomorrow for dancing day 201. Check out our day 200 dance video if you can. If you like, if you want to raise your energy by dancing. Really simple. What else? Meditation in the morning. If you want to join Bruce, just message us and we can slot you in for that. Sending love out there. See you all tomorrow. Bye.
You're awesome. Bye.